welcome to our next episode of Kids Place. This is where kids come to play, learn, achieve, create, and explore. I'm Mrs. Treherne.
And I'm Mrs. Day. Let's get started with our hello song. Hello, friends. How are you? I'm very happy to see you. Greet your neighbor, boogie on down. Give a bump and turn around. Hello, friends. How are you? I'm very happy to see you.
It is time for our breathing. In the last two shows, we have used the star breath. Today, I'm going to introduce a new breath. It's called the balloon breath. Why do we breathe, boys and girls? To help us to calm. The more we practice, the more we are ready when there are times when we need it. Can you help me?
Of course.
All right, the balloon breath. Here we go. We breathe in and we inflate the balloon. We make the balloon grow. Breathe in. Gently pop the balloon and exhale. One more time. Breathe in. And our third breath. Breathe in. And now we're ready to learn.
Everyone, we received another special letter in the mail today. Fanny, you want to help us open this today and read it?
I want to see who sent us a letter.
Okay, it says the letter is from Marshall, who lives in Great Mills. Let's see. Oh, there's two pieces of paper in here, Fanny. Let's see. It says, Dear Kids Place, I loved watching your show last week. Building is one of my favorite things to do. I'm so glad you liked it, Marshall. I like building with blocks the most. It's fun to see how high I can stack them. Oh, that is fun, isn't it, Fanny?
I love that too.
Here is a drawing of a tower I built. Your friend, Marshall. Oh, this is wonderful, Marshall.
Can I see?
Everyone take a look at this. Look, Fanny.
Wow.
Isn't that such a good drawing? Man, Marshall, this is such a good building. You could be an architect.
What? An architect? What's that?
Yeah, an architect. An architect is someone who designs and builds buildings.
Oh, I never heard that word before.
Yeah, well, maybe we should write our sentence today about an architect. What do you think, friends? Should we write our sentence about an architect today?
Yes, let's.
All right, Fanny, let's see. Maybe the sentence should say, architects like to build things. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start with our big word, architects. That's a really hard sound at the beginning of that word. We call this, and you may have heard your teacher call it, a bossy R. It kind of sticks itself to that first sound. Fanny, can you help me? What is that first sound you hear in architect?
That would be A-R.
It is A-R. I always tell my friends that that sound is like a pirate. R is A-R. All right, so Fanny, we're going to start on the left, and we're always going to start with a
capital letter.
A capital letter. Okay, here we go. R. Oh, I forgot that little A needs to go down there. Architect. This one's a big word. Architects. And I can't forget my space frog. He's going to help me to make spaces between my words so I know where one ends and the next one begins. Architects like. Okay, Fanny, I need help with this one.
I know this word, like. L.
Oh, she's going to help me spell it. Oh, good job, Franny.
I-K-E.
Nice job. Architects like, I'm going to use my space frog again, to. Boys and girls at home, can you help me? What's that first sound in this word? To. Yep, that's a t. T-O. Architects like to, that word build from last week. Fanny, can you help me? What's the first sound in build?
B.
B. That's a B. Architects like to build things. Oh my goodness. Oh, my handwriting's a little rough there, guys. We all make mistakes. I'm going to use my space frog one more time, and that last word is things, and it has a special sound at the beginning of it. That one is a digraph. 2 letters that make one sound. Fanny, can you tell me, what do you hear at the beginning of the word things? Very good. That's a TH. Things. Oh, this is a longer sentence than last week. All right. What goes at the end of my sentence?
Am I allowed to answer?
You can answer, Fanny.
Okay. A period.
A period. Nice job. All right, I'm going to put my space frog over here. Let's read our sentence again. Ready? Architects like to build things. Let's count and see how many words we have. Architects like to build things. I'm going to count it this time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 words in this sentence. Nice job, Fanny. Nice job, friends.
1.
Fanny, guess what I brought along with me today?
What is it? What is it?
I brought along some tools that we might use if we were an architect or if we just wanted to build something. Do you want to take a look and see?
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
I have this really cool kit here. This is called a tool kit. All right, we're going to open it up. Oh, I've got things falling out of there. All right, I'm going to open it up and we're going to take a look at a few of the tools in this tool kit. This is the first one I want to take a look at. Fanny, look at this. Okay, boys and girls, look at this. It helps me measure things.
Wow, it looks like it gets pretty big.
It does get really big. We can use a ruler, and you might have seen this in your classroom. A ruler helps you measure things too, but a builder might need to measure longer things. So they'd use a tape measure to help them do that. So here's our tape measure. If you were a builder, you might want to put things together. So there's a couple tools in here that are going to help us put things together. If we needed to use nails to put things together, we might use a hammer. That's right. So here's our hammer. All right. Fanny, maybe you can help me with this one. If I wanted to put a screw in something to put it together, I might need to use...
I do know this one.
What is it?
It's a screwdriver.
It's a screwdriver. Very good. So I'm going to put that one up here. Here's our screwdriver. And our last one that I'm going to share today, if we needed to tighten a bolt, or maybe we messed up and we need to get something off. So these can be used to put things on and to put things off. These are pliers. Aren't these so cool, Fanny?
Yes, I like seeing everything in the toolbox.
Awesome.
Now it is time for our Achieve segment, and today our guest reader is from TAM, the Teacher Academy of Maryland, and they are going to read Iggy Peck, Architect.
Hi everyone, my name is Summer LaRocco and I'm a student here in the Teacher Academy of Maryland program at the Tech Center. Today we're going to be reading Iggy Peck, Architect by Andrea Beatty and illustrated by David Roberts. I wonder if everyone knows what an architect is. I mean, I know. An architect is someone that likes to sculpt and design, make buildings and outside structures. So like bridges, towers, stuff like that. So Iggy Peck, Architect. Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but diapers and glue. "Good gracious, Ignatius," his mother exclaimed. "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen." But her smile faded fast as a light wind blew past, and she realized those diapers weren't clean. "Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks. I wonder if everyone figured out and noticed maybe some of the rhyming words on these 2 pages. So like right here we have like to and glue and tower and hour. And I think it's really important that we point out these rhyming words over the whole book since there's a lot of them. But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. Does everyone know where a sphinx is in the world? I know that they're in Egypt, and there's this great famous one. And right here you can see Iggy modeling after his cat, which I think is kind of funny. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples, and temples from modeling clay. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye. Not on the porch, but the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. So the St. Louis Arch, it's this big arch in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's actually the tallest building or structure in the U.S. Right here, his cat made like a little one out of his food. I like how the cat kind of like follows Iggy and what he does when he sculpts and designs. Dear Ig had made it until 2nd grade when his teacher was Miss Lila Greer. On the very first day, she had this to say: "We do not talk of buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. I wonder if you guys know what Gothic and Romanesque mean. There are different types and styles of buildings from different times throughout Europe, actually. They're different types of like architectural styles. That might seem severe, but she was sincere. For when she was no more than 7, she'd had a great fright at a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lila got lost from the group. She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator eating cheese with a French circus troupe. I wonder if you guys know what a troupe is. Sometimes it's a group of people, but most times it describes a group of performers. So a circus troupe, it's a group of performers that perform in the circus. After that day, it's quite safe to say, she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she taught that, above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. "You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. Tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal Howe?" "No, ma'am," Iggy said. He lowered his head and his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now 2nd grade was a bore. Something that I noticed on these past 2 pages is that everyone has really nice, bright, colorful shoes, especially Iggy. He has really nice and like bright, vibrant green shoes. I kind of think it's like they're showing their personalities, like their own little bit of freedom in a sense. After 12 long days had passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, math, arithmetic means math. A lot of people don't really know that anymore because it's not a common phrase or word that we use. Miss Greer took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. I wonder if everyone notices what's different on the page, especially with the shoes. They're all white, and they happen to match Mrs. Greer's. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of a burbling stream. Do you think everyone knows what a trestle means? Let's see if we can find out with the clues on the page. But they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed and Miss Lila Greer started to scream, "We're trapped here! Oh my! Alas, kids, goodbye!" Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound. Luckily fainted, not dead. So I wonder if everyone was able to figure out what trestle means. If you listen to the page and you read right here, you read footbridge, and you see over here, you see a bridge kind of collapsing. So a trestle is a type of bridge. The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw, hanging there, a structure with cables and braces, and on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots and strings, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which one should not mention, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. So they made a suspension bridge out of things like their shoelaces and their fruit roll-ups, stuff that they brought for lunch. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed the bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. I wonder if everyone knows what bridge this is supposed to be. It's actually supposed to be the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Now, every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in 2nd grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker, in t-shirt and sneakers, talk of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's the guy who builds towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. And you see now he has his nice green shoes back, so it's kind of like he's happy again and like he can express himself. The end. Thank you guys for coming in and for reading this with me.
Let's head on over to Lexington Park Elementary, where Mrs. Calasaco's class has been working on the 3 little pigs.
Little pig, let me in. Not little pig. Blow your house. Let's blow it down.
Time to create. And today we're going to make food towers. And we're going to use some healthy food choices. I'd like to challenge you, friends, to try some new things. I brought some old favorites, fruits, vegetables, and cheese, but I tried to bring in some things maybe you have not tried. You never know until you try, right?
That's right.
All right, so what do we have today? We have grapes, which many of us have tried, but have you tried grape tomatoes? And if you look, grapes and grape tomatoes look a lot alike. I kind of figured out why they named them grape tomatoes. And also for the vegetables today, we have bell peppers. Now when you look at bell peppers, these are mini bell peppers. They really do look like bells.
They do.
And I cut them in pieces for our building purposes. Another vegetable I brought, broccoli. And what's fun about broccoli, they look like trees.
They do.
We're gonna build with some trees today. And in the fruit department, I'm not sure if you've tried pineapple,
I like
but
pineapple.
it's very sweet and yummy. Now, many of us have tried cheddar cheese, but have you tried this fun cheese?
I
It's
haven't.
actually called Munster cheese,
How fun.
and it is white. So, are we ready to get started?
I think we're ready to get started.
All right. Today we're going to use 2 things to attach our foods to make towers. We're going to use pretzel sticks and we're going to use some toothpicks. All right. We're ready to get started?
I'm ready.
Whenever you're working with food, families, you need to clean your hands. Here in the studio, we do not have a sink, so we're going to use hand gel. So I'm going to take a squirt, pass it to you,
Thank you.
and we're going to make sure we rub in between our fingers on our outer side of our hands and our inside of our hands. And then dry them off a little bit, and we'll be ready to build.
All right.
All right, so You just get to decide. I'm going to open these pretzels up. Now, you taught us about shapes, Mrs. Day.
I did.
I bet we could probably use what we know about shapes while we're building these food towers.
We could. We could take a look at the attributes of each of our fruits, vegetables, and cheese and kind of think about the shapes that each one is. I'm going to use these grapes, circles that keep going round and round.
Okay, I'm using pineapple, and it's almost a square. We've got 4 sides that are almost the same. I'm going to start with toothpicks. I'm going to push gently into the pineapple. I'm going to put one on the other side. And this one has 3 sides. And what shape is that?
A triangle.
That's right. But I'm going to make sure the flat side is down so that it will be able to stand and have a stable base.
If you're using cheese in the pretzels or the pretzels with any of these, make sure you press it slowly. If you try and press it in too fast, the pretzel sticks will break.
Good pointer. All right, I'm going to move to the bell peppers, and we have 2 flavors. I forgot to mention that earlier. We have red bell peppers, and there's an orangey yellow one. And I must tell you, I've tasted them, and they're very sweet. You really ought to give it a try. All right, so now we're going to go in the other direction. So I'm going to push in this side of the pineapple and this side of the pepper. Again, like Mrs. Day said, kind of gently pushing because I don't want to break my foods. And now I have a base. I'm ready to go up. Mrs. Day, looks like you've already started on your second layer.
Up.
I'm going for this fun Munster cheese. And it's not scary either.
All right. Oh, I can smell these tomatoes.
Okay, moving up. Even though we're doing the same thing, they look so different.
They do.
That's what makes it fun. Everybody has their own idea.
Get some of this broccoli. This might be a little bit challenging to work with.
I hope not.
Let's see.
The higher you go, the more connectors you need. Because you need one on the bottom, one on the side. I'm seeing a lot of squares on mine. How about you?
I've got a lot of squares, but I just finished a triangle.
I wonder if I could build a 2-story.
Ooh, that would be a tall tower.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now the challenge is on. How did those trees come out?
They worked well.
I have to tell you a secret. When I was a young girl, I didn't like broccoli. And I couldn't have it. I just didn't like it. But now that I'm a grown-up, I love broccoli. So that's why it's always important to try new things because you never know when your taste buds are going to change. All right, second story.
That is a tall tower.
I'm going with all kinds of grapes. Grape tomatoes, regular grapes that are fruits, and I didn't get a broccoli. All right, I'm getting nervous.
You can do
2-story
it.
building. It's very nerve-wracking.
Be very careful with those toothpicks. They can be sharp.
You're right.
Nice job, Mr. Hearn.
And that's all for our healthy food towers.
Boys and girls, it's that time of our show where we have to say goodbye. It is
Time to say goodbye to all our friends. It is time to say goodbye to all our friends. It is time to say goodbye. Give a smile and wink your eye. It is time to say goodbye to all our friends. Today, we had a lot of fun at Kids Place, didn't we?
We did.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can email us at the address on the screen. We want to thank you for joining us today. We're so grateful for all of our viewers. Please check us out on Channel 96 or YouTube. Until next time.